In this video, we will explore some of the relationships you get when you cut things in half. So we'll be talking about angle bisectors, midpoints, and something called midsegment. Okay, so looking at problem number 6, AB is the angle bisector of angle CAD. So that means that angle CAD is being cut in half. So here's angle CAD. So whatever that angle is, if ray AB is a bisector, it means it's splitting this into two congruent angles. Okay, so angle CAB and angle BAD are going to be equal to each other. So for that reason, okay, so if CAB is 3x and BAD is 2x plus 5, those should be equal. So I can make an equation like 3x is equal to 2x plus 25. So of course I could simply subtract 2x from both sides, and I end up with x is equal to 25. Alright, but I can't stop there. I need to find the measure of angle CAB. Okay, so let's see, maybe I'll put this underneath. So the measure of angle CAB is equal to 3x. So that means that the measure of angle CAB is equal to 3 times 25. Okay, so that means that the measure of angle CAB is 75 degrees. Okay, I'll put a little box around that. Why not? Next, I need to find the measure of angle BAD. Okay, so the measure of angle BAD is 2x plus 25. So that means the measure of angle BAD, remember x is 25, so that's 2 times 25 plus 25. Well, that's interesting because seems like this is going to be 75 again. Alright, so the measure of angle B, oh, okay, I guess, duh, right? We just said they were going to be congruent, so I don't know why I'm acting like that was some big coincidence. Yeah, so these two angles are congruent. So if I'm very confident that the first angle was 75, I should have just immediately said that BAD was 75 without even plugging in the numbers. Anyway, what about angle CAD? Alright, CAD is the purple angle. Well, if this is 75 and this is also 75, then I should be able to just add those together. Alright, so that's going to be 150. For number 7, they did not give us a picture, so we will have to draw it ourselves. D is the midpoint of EF, segment EF. Okay, so, alright, so here is segment EF. So if this is segment EF, that means the endpoints are E and F. Now, if D is the midpoint of this segment, that means there's a point right in the middle, and that's point D. That means that these two segments will be congruent to each other. ED and DF will be congruent. That is the definition of what a midpoint is. Now, DE is 7x minus 8. Alright, so this distance right here is 7x minus 8. Now, EF is 16x minus 30. So be careful. So EF is the whole distance. Okay, the whole segment is going to be 16x minus 30. Alright, so hopefully you can see that ED is half of EF. Alright, because D is the midpoint. So if I double the ED, that should equal EF. So if I take 7x minus 8 and double it, so 2 times 7x minus 8, that should equal 16x minus 30. So that's going to give me 14x minus 16, as I do the distributive property, is equal to 16x minus 30. Okay, I feel like subtracting 14x from both sides. I just like to keep the x term positive when I can. So that's going to leave me with negative 16 is equal to 2x minus 30. And then I will add 30 to both sides. So that's going to give me 2x is equal to 14. And then dividing both sides by 2, I get x is 7. Okay, so that's one thing we were supposed to find, is the value of x. So find x is 7. Now in addition to that, we're also supposed to find the length of DE. Alright, so I'll do DE right here. So DE is 7x minus 8. So 7x minus 8. But now I know that x is 7. So this is 7 times 7 minus 8. So that's 49 minus 8. So that's 41. So DE is 41. Alright, now let's look at the picture. I think I'll change colors here. Okay, so DE is 41. So that means this is 41, which means this will also be 41, which means that the whole thing is going to be 82. Alright, so just in case anybody's about to ask me any of those things, it's just useful to picture it ahead of time. Okay, so what's next? DF. Alright, DF, like I said, that's going to be 41. What about EF? Oh look, didn't see that coming. EF is the whole thing, that's 82. Alright, finally we have this concept called a midsegment. Alright, a midsegment of the triangle is a segment that connects the midpoints of two sides of the triangle. So I guess the first thing we need to do is draw ourselves a triangle. So I'm going to cheat and use this triangle sketching tool. Okay, great. What a nice triangle. Okay, so let's go ahead and call this ABC. So here's A and B and C. Now this LN is supposed to be the midsegment, and LN is going to be parallel to AC. So I see that AC is down here at the bottom, so I'm going to draw my midsegment parallel to that. Okay, so here comes my midsegment. Alright, and I have to make it parallel. Alright, so there's my midsegment. So that means this is supposed to be LN. So I can call this L and call this N. So if this is a mid-segment, by definition, that means that L is the midpoint of AB, and N is the midpoint of BC. So that means we have all these congruent segments all around. Okay, but it also means something else. Whatever this is, the length of this mid-segment, all right, say if I put a box right here, whatever this box is, it is half the length of this parallel side. So AC will be 2 times whatever that is. Okay, so if this is 5, then this will be 10, for example. Okay, so let's see what happens. All right, what else do we know? Ln is 4x plus 24. Okay, so an expression for this is 4x plus 24. AC is 10x minus 2. So an expression for this is 10x minus 2. BL is 3x minus 10. Alright, I'm going to get to that in a second. Let's deal with these first, because I just can't wait. Remember, I told you that the midsegment is going to be half of the parallel side. That's called the midsegment theorem. So if I double the midsegment, it should equal the parallel side. So if I do 2 times the 4x plus 24, that should equal 10x minus 2. Alright, double the midsegment should equal the parallel side. So that's going to give me 8x plus 48 is equal to 10x minus 2. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and subtract 8x from both sides just to keep the x term positive the way I like it. So that'll give me 48 is equal to 2x minus 2. Then I'm going to add 2 to both sides, so that's going to give me 50 is equal to 2x. And then if I divide both sides by 2, I get x is equal to 25. Okay, so off to the side here we're being asked to find several things, and 25 is one of them. Alright, we are also asked to find the length of Ln and AC. So let's start with Ln. Okay, so let's see, Ln, we have the expression 4x plus 24. So that's going to be 4x plus 24. But we now know that x is 25. So this is going to be 4 times 25 plus 24. Alright, hopefully you know that 4 times 25 is 100. So that means that Ln is 124. Okay, let me just change colors for a second. So that tells us that this is 124. Now, like I said, the midsegment is half the length of the parallel side. So if I double this, it should give me AC. So that's going to be 248. All right, I just doubled that. Okay, so that tells me the length of AC is 248. Okay, that just leaves AB. And so there's another piece of information that I didn't use yet. So BL is 3x minus 10. Let's use that now. Okay, so I know that BL is 3x minus 10. Alright, is that what it said? Yeah. But I know that x is 25, so this is 3 times 25 minus 10, so that's 75 minus 10, so that is 65. So BL is 65. Okay, I feel like I need, well, I can use red. Okay, so BL right here, this is 65. L is the midpoint, so that means AL is also 65. And if you add those together, that should give us AB. So that's going to be 130. Okay, which is the last thing that they asked us to find is AB. So like I said, that's going to be 130. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. Go ahead and click here in the red apple to watch the next video. Click in the green apple to subscribe, or click the yellow apple for the full playlist.